Okay.
Boston Bruins have a new captain.
Very funny. It's just first of all, I mean, my friend Sarah Griffin said it. People are going to hate the Bruins even more now. Just not only you're just going to hate them anyways, but now the captain is Brad Marchand, which just like the development arc for him, like not only playing wise, but he's been like a villain since he stepped into the league, but just a wild career where he's still a top 15, 20 player in the league as he's, mid 30s. Took a while to get going, but once he did, he's just perennial 20 goal plus, 30, 40, hit 100 points once, but just an absolute rat on the ice. And a beauty off it too. He loves. They did so they unveiled the jerseys and they did like a fashion show, and he was strutting it too. He is unbelievable. He's the funniest fucking bastard in the league. But yeah, Captain Brad Marchand. Did you ever think that would happen?
No, and a lot of people didn't think it would happen this year because apparently it's disrespectful to Patrice Bergeron that they named a new captain so soon.
It's insane. But, people just have to make themselves feel smart and feel important. So I don't think there's that many people who are actually.
No, I don't think there's many. Subscribe to that, well, also, it's bizarre that people are saying that for him when,
he's been
the captain for a couple of years. But Chara hands it over and it's like, oh, no big deal. I think it's because Chara went somewhere else and everyone wanted to be bitter. Whereas, Bergeron's done.
Right. And I mean, Chara at the end of his career in Boston last 2 years, it was not obviously the same whatsoever. So there were a lot of people clamoring for Bergeron to get the C anyways. Those were the funny callers in the Boston radio, just loud people on Twitter that the Bruins' lack of Stanley Cup success is because Zdeno Chara wouldn't make Patrice Bergeron the captain of the team. Those are always those were the best, dude. There were people that legitimately if they want to win a cup, tell fucking Z to rip that C off his chest and give it to Bergie. They'll win. They'll win every cup if Bergie's the captain. So that's the problem.
They just slap a Z on his chest instead.
Office? Yeah, they should have. Would have made a difference. They would have won those cups. Would have won in 19. Would have won in 13. It's obvious. Everyone knows this. What's that?
A couple others too, I'm sure.
All of them. All of the cups. Every cup. But
it's a shame. It's a shame.
That's what it is, bro.
But yes, very, very funny for an outsider looking in to have Marchand be the captain.
And from here though, it's a legitimate no-brainer.
No, not
you know
no-brainer.
What I mean?
Hang on. You're telling me that he was so he was hard and fast the only option you were considering.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't give any consideration to McAvoy.
No, not while Marchand's here. I mean, even when Patrice Bergeron was the captain, he was vocal. But
thumbnail. SpokedZ hates Charlie McAvoy and thinks that he could never be a leader.
Word for word. That's what happened. That's what I said. And the camera hasn't cut off, so you could see me say it too. But even when Bergeron was here and he was the captain, I mean, when he was here, it was literally fucking 5 months ago. It's last time they were playing hockey. But he was the one that, he was loud and vocal, but when it was time, he wasn't rah-rah, yelling all the time, super loud. Marchand was, he's been the one, he's a lunatic, obviously. So, but he's probably been the most vocal guy in that room. Even a guy like Nick Foligno, same thing. So yeah, no, it's a no-brainer. Everyone follows his lead too on the Bruins too. He's been the one establishing the culture there as well. So for me, I mean, obviously, we'll see how much longer he wants to play, but he's still an elite winger in this league, and he is the go-to leader on that team, and he's been around forever, and he understands the culture. So he's brought those guys along and made them, kind of have that attitude and identify the way they do. So it's been, for me anyways, I think a lot of people would agree here. It was pretty much a no-brainer. He was realistically, there was no way anyone else was going to get it. And there are a couple other guys too, like once Marchand's gone, that will be in the running along with McAvoy, that people would probably be surprised. Like a guy like Brandon Carlo is very high on. Like he was the first one of the young players to get an A on his chest. Like he's had an A for a while now.
Yeah, who are the A's this year?
I mean, it'll be like probably, I didn't even look to see if they've said anything about it yet, but guys like McAvoy, Carlo, probably Pastrnak. Someone was throwing, like imagine David Pastrnak was the captain. That would be the funniest fucking captain in the league, dude. Like that would be awesome.
It would be very fun. Imagine though, if
it would make no sense.
What if the Bruins went full heel? Whether like you just did it for a warm up or something? No. It even better. Give everyone on the team the C patch except for Marchand for warm ups, just to appease the people.
Yeah. This is how much we hate him. You know, we agree with everybody. He's a piece of shit.
We think the locker room is great. Marchand's really the only problem.
Yeah, it's just the one bad guy in the locker room. We can't stand him. I was just like randomly like I was just going down a like basically a Brad Marchand like fucking with the media rabbit hole that he do it. I like forgot about I think it was this year. So he does this, by the way, every time they're going to Toronto. Marchand loves it because he loves to fuck with the media because he knows it'll go crazy. So they were talking about like, have you and like Bunting got into it, like tripping on the ice? He's like, no, I don't really know him like at all or whatever. Like I haven't really got into him. And well, he's like, I haven't got into it with him, but you know, there aren't a whole lot of guys that like to chirp. You know, I like to, you know, Mitch, you know, Marner's always just run around talking about his dog. He's like wearing those terrible skates. But that's pretty much it. And they were like, what? Does he talk? He's like, no, I just tell him, you know, he's like my favorite player in the league. So
there's not really many guys that like to get into it. Mitch is out there talking about video games and his dog and those terrible new skates that he's got out. But yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot of guys that like to get into it.
Do you know Mitch well?
No, not really. I've talked to him a little bit here and there, and it's on the ice. I respect his game. I think he's an incredible player, and that's usually what I tell him. Just that he's my favorite player, and
it's so and like for 2 days, the media in Toronto was like, "Why do you think he said that? Like, what is this? Is he playing mind games?" It's like, holy shit, he's a mastermind. Like, it's all they talked about for 2 fucking days was Brad Marchand calling Mitch Marner his favorite hockey player.
An elite duo, the Toronto media and Brad Marchand.
He's just like, yeah, Mitch is, you know, he's talking about his dog and video games, and yeah, he's an amazing player. He's my favorite player in the league. Just like, what does he say? What does it mean? It's so good, dude. I love that. He's so good at that shit with the media specifically. But like every year when they're doing the road trip to Toronto, he does the same shit, and it works every goddamn time. Like every fucking time. When Marner was doing the contract thing, or when Marner was like, when he was having the whole thing about like not signing or whatever, Marchand was like, I think he should be the highest paid player in the league. It's like, I would pay him $15 million a year. It's my favorite player. And it's like, why is Marchand saying this?
I knew he fucked with the media. I did not know about this Marner infatuation. It's great.
It's very like Marner is specifically the one. He's always like, he's my favorite player in the league. I love him. I think he's incredible. Like, no, it's so sad he got rid of Twitter.
That's great.
It's so sad he got rid of Twitter. That was always the best, when he would get bored on the road and would just go on his phone and carve people in his Twitter or in like Instagram comments.
Mm-hmm.
Or when he would, you know, miss the puck in the shootout and the next day would post a picture of him lifting the Stanley Cup on Instagram. Like, what's up?
Oh, fuck.
Telling some random poor bastard who commented, oh yeah, bud, your fucking Stanley Cup is you playing in your driveway.
Yeah. It's the only one I remember too.
Well, that was, and then someone's like, oh, why don't you mix in a comma? Like, good grammar. He goes, I got plenty of commas, pigeon. It's so funny. It's so good. He's the best.
Oh, fuck.